Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Suship Yugioh deck profile for March 2025. Wanted to update the pure version of the Suship deck. I know a lot of people have been mixing around this deck with the Ryziel and the Primite engines, but as I prefer to do, we're going to stick to the pure variant of this deck. Just one of the overlay Xyz decks that you can make use of your different types of sushi monsters and then use those different Xyz monsters for some pretty fun plays and a very affordable deck at that, just with the price of everything for the Suship deck being very, very low. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For our Suship monsters, we're running 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Shari. This is your go-to normal monster that you need for a good majority of the different Suship Xyz monsters to gain the additional card effects, and also depending on the card you use with them, gaining those additional effects, with most of the power from Shari being the draws that you can get off of those summons as well. So 3 of this card being a normal monster, you also have access to it with easier special summon power like cards with Unexpected Die, and then just being a 2000 attack point monster, a little more difficult to get over than others in the deck as well. We're also running 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Ikura. If you control a Gunkan Suship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Ikura once per turn this way, and during your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck. If you do, you can either add to your hand or special summon 1 excavated Gunkan Suship Shari and shuffle the rest into your deck. You can only use this effect of Ikura once per turn, but just being able to grab the other needed monster off of a reveal from the top of your deck is a big help with your overall setup of your different Suship monsters, because then you will use these 2 monsters to make the Xyz monster that is the combined form of these 2 pieces of sushi together. We're also running 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Shari Red. This card's name becomes Suship Shari while in the hand, deck, or graveyard, or the field. You can only use the following effects of Shari Red once per turn. You can reveal 1 other Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then you can apply this effect to special summon 1 Gunkan monster from your deck, except for Shari, but negate its effects. And if they then, for you, when you special summon from the extra deck 1 Xyz monster that mentions the special summon monster, using that monster in this card as material. Added resources, but also being able to have this card count as Shari makes it all the better. It's just 1 additional name that gives you the resource needed for a good majority of your cards that make the Xyz monsters with Shari on the field. We're also running the 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Shirao. If you control a Gunkan Suship Shari or an Xyz monster that has it as material, you can special summon this card from your hand, and during your main phase, you can special summon 1 Gunkan monster from your hand except for Shirao. Then you can take any number of Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck or graveyard, place them on the top of your deck in any order. This gives you more setup to use for your Xyz plays using your Shirao, and also just having, once again, another monster that resembles the setup of Shirao and Shari on the field to use, with the last of our Suship monsters being the 3 Gunkan Suship Uni, having the Uni class Super Dreadnought as the final overlay setup. Being a level 5 monster, you can reveal 1 other Gunkan card in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then apply the effects based on the revealed card. If it was Shari, you can special summon the revealed monster. Place the reveal monster on the bottom of the deck. So using that resource to get out this level 5 monster onto the field. And then also you can add 1 Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. You can use each effect of Uni once per turn, but then you have that other setup as well, targeting the Gunkan monster you control, being able to change its level to 4 or 5, and then have that search off of the Shari to hand. So then you can go for your rank 5 Xyz play, adjusting the level of your other monster to 5. I'm also running the 2 copies of Barrier Statue of the Inferno. This is a fun tech I like to run in the deck with the majority of our Suship monsters being fire. We can then make use of this card just as more of a restriction on what our opponent can special summon and not really limit us for a good majority of our Xyz plays, since the majority of the Xyz monsters we'll be making are the Gunkan Suship monsters. So then we can still go into those plays and restrict what our opponent can make as well, with the last of the main deck monsters being 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, just a hand trap spot, along with the Infinite Impermanence lineup that we run in the deck to combat our opponent with. For the spells, running 3 copies of the field spell, the Gunkin Suship Yard Seaside Supper Spot. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkin monster, even during the damage step, you can place 1 Gunkin card from your deck on top of your deck. And once per turn, if a face-up Gunkin monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, activate this effect. Your opponent pays life points equal to the monster's defense in the graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon 1 Gunkin Suship Shari from your hand, and special summon 1 Gunkin Xyz monster from your extra deck using that card you control as material, adding you another resource to be able to use on the field, but also just giving you more setup after one of your other monsters leaves the field, and also setting up cards on the top of your deck for you being able to use with some of the other Suship cards we run consistently to always reveal the Gunkin Suship Shari. We're also running 3 of the continuous spell Gunkin Suship Catch of the Day. Once per turn, you can reveal 1 Gunkin Suship Shari in your hand. Place 1 counter on this card. If you do, reveal 1 Gunkin Xyz monster from your extra deck. Your opponent declares 1 Gunkin monster's name, except for Shari that is mentioned on any Xyz monster. Then add the declare card from your deck to your hand. If you cannot add, shuffle this card into the deck. But just more added search power to get the consistency for the specific Suship monster you may also want to use. For the generic spells, we're also running 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. In case our opponent uses any resource against us, we can at least potentially draw into some of the needed cards to go into more Xyz plays. The 3 copies of Unexpected Die to be able to consistently special summon out Shari onto the field as well. And also the 1 copy of Call by the Grave and the 1 Terraforming for the field spell search. For the traps, we're running 2 copies of Gunkin Suship Daily Special. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Gunkin Suship Shari in your hand. Reveal 3 Gunkin monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses 1 of them to add to your hand, and then shuffle the rest in the deck. If you revealed Shari in your hand in activation, you can choose the card to add to your hand instead of your opponent. And if this card's in your graveyard, except the turn was set there, you can banish it, target 3 of your Gunkin monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 1 card. So just consistent search power off of a trap, but also recycle power using the graveyard effect to do so. With the rest of our traps being 2 copies of Solemn Strike, just more of a restriction for our back row against our opponent's monster effects or when they special summon a monster, and the 3 copies of Infinite Permanence to use along with our Ash Blossom for the hand trap lineup we use in the deck. And then for the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Gunkin Suship Ikora Class Dreadnought. If it's Xyz summon, you can apply the following effects in sequence based on the materials used. You can only use this effect of Ikora Class Dreadnought once per turn. Using your Shari, you draw 1 card. If you use Ikora, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. And once per turn, when your Gunkin monster special summon from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it, having destruction power on top of the multiple attacks option, and then just drawing, making up for some of the resources you may have invested for your Xyz play to begin with. The 2 copies of your Gunkin Suship Shirao Class Carrier, having the same option based on the cards used. If you use Shari, you draw a card. If you use Shirao, you add 1 Gunkin spell or trap from your deck to your hand, giving you access to the shorter number of traps we run, but also either the continuous spell or the field spell to use. And while this face-up card, or while face-up card is in the field zone, Gunkin monster you control special from the extra cannot be destroyed by your opponent card effects, equal to added protection thanks to the field spell setup that you can also search off of this card, with the last of the Xyz monsters being 2 copies of Gunkin Suship Uni-Class Super Dreadnought, having the added options for drawing a card, and then if you use Uni, this card gains the ability to attack directly, and during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkin monsters you control special summon from the extra deck, and negate their effects. Added power for effect negation, protection off of Shirao class, and then just multiple attack options thanks to our Ikora Class Dreadnought. For the generic Xyz, we run the deck 1 Baguska along with 1 Exciton Knight, the 1 Daigusto Morale for the use of our normal monster special summon resource, and the 1 Zeus to finish off the Xyz monsters, with our Link monsters being the 1 Link Spider, the 1 SP Little Knight. If anything happens to this card on the ban list before or after this video is posted, this can easily be replaced with cards like Nightmare Cerberus for that final spot, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix along with the 1 Barricade Board Blocker, and the 1 Nightmare Unicorn to finish off the extra deck. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, just having that consistency to reveal and add some of your additional Gunkin cards for your setup. If you go for the field spell for your first play, and then if you normal special summon a Gunkin monster, you can place 1 Gunkin card for your deck on the top of the deck as well. So then with this added playstyle, you can summon out your Ikora using the field spell to set up the Shari on the top of the deck, and then go for the reveal, revealing this card for your monster to then special summon the Shari carry to the field, going for the 2 overlay play to then go into your Eager class Dreadnought, giving you the additional draw off of that 1 card, and then the multiple attack and destruction option thanks to having both of the needed materials for it. Very, very useful and a very fun and easy deck to make use of. You just have to know what Exceeds plays you want to do when you make them. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.